All right. Amandeep, can I take you live now? Just type your message, type a message so that I can take you live. Amandeep. Amandeep, just send, just write in your text if you are ready so that I can switch on your mic and your camera also. All right. Now I know who you are when I saw your face. Actually, I just, I mean, yeah. Yeah, you can speak now. How are you, brother? When I saw your face, I remember
Now you
actually
remember me. How
there are so
everything is good?
many students
Yeah.
that
So my name is Amandeep. Good morning. It's morning in Canada. So yeah. So I was in Saudi. I was working for Sadara Chemical Company at that time in Jubail, and I attended one of Faiz's classes in July 2016. I think yes, that was the time I attended it. And then again, as everybody else, I didn't got time and busy. I was busy in the job, and then I had applied for my permanent residency for Canada. In the same year, I got it, and finally, in March 2017, I moved to Canada. That time, I thought of upgrading my education because when you move to a new country and here the market and the job, the way they hire people, it's totally different. So the need of getting a North American certification in project management while I was in North America, it was huge. So it was very difficult for me at that time. So I landed up in Alberta, a city called Edmonton. So I was from oil and gas. I had 9 years of experience working in Middle East and in India in oil and gas sector. So I searched for a job, and of course, oil and gas, because of Saudi again, oil and gas sector in Canada it was in bad shape. And then what I did was I started studying for my PMP, and I joined a government funded program. They had so many government funded programs here in Canada for newcomers. So they sponsor your education. They train you to like align yourself in Canadian market, job market, and all those things. So I took a membership of PMI North Albertan chapter. At that time I applied for my course, and I had messaged Phase at that time that okay, what I need to do in my application, what details I need to fill up. So this Northern Button chapter in Canada, in Edmonton, Canada, they organize these study sessions, free sessions for all the PMP aspirants. So in order to join these sessions, you have to have your PMP application approved. So you should be ready to schedule an exam. So I joined that. It was like every Tuesday 6 to 9 I had these study groups. So it was a collaborative kind of effort. So there were many PMP aspirants in that group, and there were I'll say facilitators from PMI who were actually doing these organizing these groups. So every group, they used to cover one knowledge area, and the presentations were prepared from the group itself. So one of us were like preparing. So I did on time management during that group. So it was very useful, I'll say. But again, it comes to your own preparation. So they were plainly covering PM book. So PM book language is very plain, I'll say. People who are, because I had been working in project management, so I was familiar with some of the terms and definitions. But people who are not familiar in project management, if they will study PM book, it's a plain book, I'll say. Many of the terms and many of the concepts you'll not be able to understand directly. So I was referring to Rita. I found was very good, and I had your notes the notes you gave us during the classes.
well, I don't remember I focused on notes during that time. Was I focusing in
No,
class
the
on
one we noted down. I took that hard copy
because
with
I
me.
started about notes in 2017, I think mid
No, but
2017.
you told us to note down. You during the classes, you always told us that okay, this is important. You note it down. This is important. You note it down. So I had that copy with me, and you gave some presentations on time management, like the PDF copies of presentations. And most important, so once I was done with Rita, I was studying at that time on government funds, and that too was also on project management, and I was going to school for 4 months. So the Rita exam prep software you gave us, which had all the mock questions, I think that was the decisive thing for us. So once I've gone through both the books, I was doing so. Even the study groups which I joined, they also gave us mock quizzes for every knowledge area. And the last day we were there, it was a 200 questions, full 2 hours mock quiz. So I scored almost like 82 in that, 82% in that. So, and I'll say the more you practice, I know the format has been changed now, but the more you practice, the number of questions you try, that will be
More
decisive.
are the chances actually. The
So
more questions, I say it's direct relationship. The more questions you solve, the more are the chances to pass.
more are the chances for us to pass. So I think the software which you gave, Rita Exam Prep, that helped me a lot, and I shared that with one of my friends also, and he also cleared it. She was a Nigerian. She was working for Schlumberger before coming to Canada. She was also a recent new immigrant like me, so she also cleared the exam, and she was part of the study group which we were joining. So yeah, so I'll say the more number of questions you do, and during the exam, I think majority of the questions are like case specific. So you need to have practical knowledge of project management, I'll say. So
Situational. You mean the
yeah,
concept?
situational. I'll say situational questions are there. So you need to have practical knowledge of project management. You have, yeah, and some of the questions were definition based also, like from time management, from procurement management. So there were some of the questions which were directly related to how PMI does some of the things, PMI recommended ways of managing projects, which couldn't be the same way you are managing projects in your real world. But from exam perspective, I'll say we have to understand the PMI way of managing things. That is important, because many a times, because I had been managing projects from last 10 years, so we don't follow what PMI says. But for exam, yes, there are some specific ways. And the Rita, that exam prep, if you're answering a question wrong, it gives you a justification and it gives you an explanation that, okay, this is the way it is to be done. So that is of huge help. So that makes you understand how PMI thinks about this particular job or this particular process. So how you're going to manage. So yeah, so that was important for me, because many of the concepts during practicing those questions, they were cleared. So yeah, that, okay, you need to act this way. So that helped me a lot. And it was time consuming, I'll say. You get impatient also during those 4 hours. And yeah, but it was good. So I had above, so there is now they are doing that bar graph, analyzing your result. So I was above half in above target. So it was good. Overall, I was above target in all of the like the process groups, but it was good. So again, that helped me a lot in my job search. Right now, I'm working as a senior planning engineer with one of the largest steel manufacturing companies in Canada, and I started from scratch, because Canadian system of hiring people, they don't give value to our Asian qualifications. So PMI helped me a lot, because I was seeking employment in project management and I was in a North American culture. So just because I had this PMP, it really helped me to get this job, and I'm back into my manufacturing sector.
Now, those of my friends who are listening here who are from Pakistan, this is the advice that I am giving for last 5-6 months since I have been in Pakistan, that you need to get some international credential that is internationally accepted. The qualification, unfortunately, like you said, our Asian, um, our Asian.
Oh, sorry, just a minute. Let me. Yeah.
Go ahead. If you want to take the call, take it. No problem. Your mic is off. We can't hear you. I think you switched off
Yeah,
your mic.
yeah, yeah. So now it is okay. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's good.
Yeah. Just a minute. Let me take the call. I'm in a conference right now. I'll call you back. I'm in a conference webinar. I'll call you back. ठीक है? मैं call करता हूँ. Bye. It's a PMP webinar. I'll call you back. Okay. So yeah, sorry for that.
No problem.
So it was a good experience, I'll say. So yeah, you need to always you need. I think the practical experience that matters a lot. Plus, Rita is very interactive, and that I'll say the PMP exam prep software which Face gave, that gave me an edge, because practicing the questions again and again, and understanding why you are answering wrong, and just learning the PMI way of managing things, that is very important. So that way you can answer more and more questions right in the exam. So.
All right. Thanks a lot. Actually, it's good to see your face. I remember that time when I was in Jubail, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think you guys joined in a group. You were other friends.
Yeah,
also.
we were 3 to 4 people from Sadara at that time, and I think you did 2 or 3 sessions in Jubail, and all of us from Sadara were in one session. Yeah, and now I'm planning to do my PMI-SP and PMI-RMP also, scheduling professional, because I'm working as a planning engineer. So that is directly related.
SP you should do first, and then whatever you want to take it.
And I already got my credit hours again from the courses I did in Canada. So I'm directly, and it's addictive, I'll say. Once you know that you can have one certification, because these credentials, they really help you to get a job. Because the problem when you are in international hiring market is that you're not able to prove yourself that you are equal to the project managers here in this country or in some other foreign country. So these credentials, they give you that equal platform to compete with these people, because they will say Indian engineering degree, Pakistani engineering degree, that's different from North American degrees. So that way you can stand
Well,
the same
this
platform.
is hard. This is hard, but this is reality.
This is a fact, and you will face all these discriminations a lot once you will be in some international job market. So the people do value different credentials. They do value that, okay, they will see that Canadian engineer will be better than Indian engineer or Pakistani engineer, although we will get the PEng license and we'll be a PE and all those things. But PMP, PMI-SP, PMI-RP, these are international credentials, and we will be considered equal to any other project management manager if we will have a PMP. And then they will give you, and many of the job postings which we have, especially in Canada, they require, in project management, they require PMP, and straight away they give you an edge. So if you can just get a call of interview just because you're a PMP, it increases your chance of getting hired by 80%.
Exactly. And secondly, Amandeep, I would say, like, you're a planning engineer.
Yeah.
So PMP is not for project managers only.
Yeah, it is.
This is what people need to understand, that it's not only for project managers. Those who are working on the projects and they want to enter in good organizations, this is a green card actually that you can use to enter inside any
It's more about understanding. It's more about understanding the project management processes recommended by Project Management Institute. And you could be at any level. You could be the part of project management team as a planner, as a scheduler, as a material coordinator, as a buyer. But if you understand those processes, then of course you'll get into good institutions. Because in many of the companies here, like in our company where I'm working now, I'm working in major projects division, which is the project management office of the company. So all the major projects which are being executed across the iron and steel plant, it is a 5,000 acre big facility. It has to be routed through our department, and we are standardizing the project management processes. So it is replication of what PMI says, because this is a North American company. So the way they manage their projects in real world, it's just a replication of what PMI taught us, how projects are supposed to be managed, how estimation is done, how actual construction management is done. Everything is just a replication. So it really helps you in the job also, I'll say.
All right. We have a question from Sunil Kumar. He's your Indian fellow. He's saying, how was your score in PM Fast Track?
PM Fast Track. No, I just practiced on like the Rita PMP exam prep you gave me.
Okay,
That,
the same software that I gave you.
yeah, it's the same software he's talking about.
It is software from Rita. PM Fast Track is from Rita. I think you are talking about the other software that is PMP software, this kind of.
Yeah, yeah, you get, okay. Yeah, fast track, I think he's talking about the same software. So yeah, the fast track, I always got more than 85, I'll say.
Because it's Fast Track is knowledge area by knowledge area. Then there is Super
Yes.
P.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's part of that same software. 80 plus. Initially I was less than 80, but as you understand, as you clear your concepts, if you are weak in some knowledge area, you go back to Rita and you go through it again. And we had discussion sessions in our study group also. So that also helped us to clear our concepts, but it was 80 to 90%, I'll say. It
All
was.
right.
Yeah.
So Atiq Khan, which mocks are more realistic? Well, like he said, he studied through Rita. So any other question that anyone of you want to ask from any questions? All right. Thank you so much, Amandeep, for your time.
Okay. See you. Have a nice day.
It was really happy. I was really happy to see your face. Actually, I when I saw your name was familiar, but when I saw your face, I became really happy to see you. Actually,
That's good. That's good. Yeah, we'll be staying in touch. Maybe when
yes.
you have plans to come to Canada, just give me a call and stay in touch, and we'll meet for sure.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, brother. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Bye.
All right. Take care. Okay. So I hope today it was helpful, it was useful, and just let's conclude it now. What we have just learned is one guy said something and the other guy is saying completely opposite to that. So what I am advising all the time is that you cannot just make one person as a criteria to appear or prepare for the examination, but everybody is focusing about on the concept. So if the concepts are clear, you are scoring 85 or 85 plus or 80 plus, you are ready for the examination. Until you do not score 80 plus in your mock exams, do not waste your time and money, do not appear in your examination. So first work on your concepts, stop memorizing books, stop remembering the books, and try to understand the concepts. And concepts you will understand only through solving some sample questions and getting some good training if you have available. So make your concepts clear. That is what always is the focus, and prepare yourself for the new version that is more conceptual than the version that Amandeep and the other brother have attended. So this version will be more conceptual type of examination. So for me, it's easier now. For me, it's real project management. And those people who were remembering books, this is bad news for them because it will be completely a conceptual exam now. So start your preparation accordingly. It's not a difficult exam at all. Do not please over prepare. If you are passing 80%, that's it. You are ready for examination. So do not try to over prepare. Do not try to stay away. I forgot to take advice from Amandeep actually for those who actually are not preparing for last 6 months or 1 year. So he would have definitely given me an advice. But anyhow, uh, thank you to him also. He spared some time, and thank you to all of you who have attended. I have actually recorded this one specially, and I am going to post it in group also for those who have not attended. So I hope it will be valuable for you in future also if you want to hear the advice. And in future, I will try to take online those people who are actually PMP certified, who have recently cleared the examination, and we will keep on taking advices from everyone so that you can prepare your exam accordingly. So please try understanding the concepts and focus on conceptual knowledge rather than trying to read and remember books. Whatever book it is, do not just try to remember it. Just try to take the concept. If you want to take it from the book, read it. If you want to take it from your PM fast track questions, take it. If you find a good trainer who is conceptually clear and who clears the concepts, again, it's good for you. So whatever is suitable for you, just choose it, but stop reading books and stop remembering things from the book.